Here we go. Miami of Ohio and Miami of Florida. The matchup we've always wanted. We never knew we needed. The matchup we never knew we needed between the Red Hawks and the Hurricanes. I'm showing Miami, of course, a huge favorite here in this one. That's easy for me to say, right? Give me Miami. I get it. 16.5 for the Canes. Total down now here to 45 in this one. And let's see what I have for you here. Almost organized with my notes. This is the spot of the show where I need Mindy to be talking, and then I get my note ready, and then I'm ready to go. Here we go with this one. All right. For the Red Hawks, they returned 16 starters. They have a veteran quarterback with basically a 3-year starter on the team. Miami, not a great road underdog, especially out of conference, 7-16 against the spread in their last 23 road tries as a dog. Miami, not a great home favorite, 5-11 in their last 16. Cristobal also pretty bad as a home favorite as a coach, 14-26-2 against the spread. The Canes 7-13 against the spread in their last 20 non-conference games. So mentioned the matchup of the two Miami teams. They haven't played each other in 36 years. That's just an aside here. So Miami, they haven't won a bowl in 7 years. It's Miami of Ohio that won a bowl more recently than Miami of Florida. I gotta think this one's going under 45. What do you guys think? I didn't have the stats from after yesterday to see if the games were cut down. I'll get that information maybe posted in the Discord. I'm going to end up here on the under 45 now. It opened 48.5. Maybe there might not even be much of value left in this one, but I'm going to be on the under here with these two. Pretty tricky, isn't it? Hey, don't make a mistake when you're at the window. Miami O and Miami F. Let's see here in this one, Mike. Here's Mike. Hello. Great, Mike. Well, obviously means I'm just going to assume you mean the Hurricanes since they're the favorite. But again, this is Miami against Miami. I like the under, Daryl. Shannon. Hello, Shannon. Hi. I'm taking Miami of Ohio. So, and Burley says go under. Right, Thomas? They should be playing every year, especially because the Canes, they're not very good. But Michael says it'll be a blowout. Miami getting back on track. Look, they have 19 returning starters. I believe that's number 2 in the nation. They're tied. I don't think there was one team that they returning. Oh, whatever. Miami returning 19 starters. They've gone just 12-12 over the last 2 years with an 8-16 spread record. That's not too impressive. At least with the Red Hawks, they've gone 21-22 against the spread over the last 4 years. Yeah, they're a bad road dog against non-conference, but Miami's just been terrible at laying the points. So I will say this. It looks to me like Miami of Ohio is the more popular team with the internet touts today, from what I'm seeing here on some of the forums. All right, I'll take the under in this one as my play here on the show. All right, Louisville and Georgia Tech. I'll go back to the other game in just a moment. It was out of order here a little bit, but that's all right. Louisville on the road here, 7.5 total, 49.5, maybe 50 right now. This one's seen a pretty significant move. Remember, some of the summer openers and even the openers were released much higher. Maybe the bookmakers were a little slow remembering about the rule changes. and whatnot. But whatever the case may be, this one's definitely holding out at about 49.5 or 50 right now. If anything, it's actually gone back up a little bit here in this one tonight. And for the Cardinals, they've got uh, the old quarterback, Brom, here as the head coach. He's got a 66-44 career record, but he's with his old school now. He quarterbacked this team, of course. 13 starters are back. They return veteran offensive line. Certainly, they have a quarterback was a starter at Cal last year. So, for Georgia Tech, look, they've been on a down bad. It's been a bad time for Georgia Tech, no doubt about it. Over the last several years, 5 years now of not winning. They have a sophomore who started at Texas A&M, handful of games, so a little bit of experience there. Georgia Tech 6-13 is a home underdog in their last 19 tries in the roll. And this game is being played at the Georgia Dome. This one's not, I put at Georgia Tech. I mean, it's in Georgia. It's definitely going to be Georgia Tech's crowd, but it's not at Dodd Stadium. So Tech won the last two meetings in pretty impressive fashion, actually, but that was, and it wasn't necessarily before the downturn for Georgia Tech. They last met in 2020. Georgia Tech won 46-27. They also won 66-31. As far as laying points on the road, I don't know, man. With this Louisville team, it may take just a little bit. I'm on Tech here. I'm gonna take Georgia Tech plus 7.5 in this one at home. And let's see what you guys got here. We've got Leroy Flood here today. Nice to see you as always, Leroy's on Georgia Tech. Daryl on Louisville. Thomas may look at Louisville. Jamar is on Louisville. And Daryl says Louisville if it's a parlay. How about Frankie? He says lay the points with Louisville. Sounds like you guys were opposite, but that's cool. I'm taking points. Michael says, give me Louisville here. Whenever you say RL, I'm figuring you mean run like lay the points is what it feels like. I know sometimes we're in baseball mode still. Jamal though does say Louisville money line, so maybe it could be a typo too. Law Dog says Louisville. And yeah, right, when they had to go back to basics a little bit. Yeah, it's been a while for Georgia Tech. Now they're not, they're not anything special. I'm just taking a touchdown at home. Louisville, they usually go to the bowls. They've gone bowling 5 of the last 7 seasons. So I'm just going to take these points here in this one. And look, if this thing keeps going lower, I say that it's actually going back up here a little bit. Kind of like the over. Okay, I'll take Georgia Tech as my official play. Central Michigan and Michigan State. Oh, bad typo there. Right now it's 13.5 now and 45. So continuing to move to the chips here in this one. I don't know. It felt like it's been going to the Chippewas way, and I think the Chippewas are probably going to be pretty popular with touts, internet touts today. I'm showing that indeed that might be the way this one's going here. Central Michigan, it's going to be hard for them to. It's really hard for them to score. I don't know. Michigan State, I'm not too thrilled with their offense either. They do return 13 players. They've got decent offensive line coming back. They have they've got the quarterback they're going with, they're going to have to work on a little bit. So laying 2 touchdowns to me feels like it's going to be tough. I will say this, Tucker so far with the Spartans, 6-1 against the spread, non-conference at home. But man, I'm just not. I don't know if I'm It's going down enough though that man, it might be worth the consideration here on Michigan State. Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. This one, look, I see why this total's down at 45. It feels like it's going to be hard to score. Central Michigan was 4-8 last season. They returned 9 starters on defense. But they are also inexperienced. I don't even know if they've decided on their quarterback yet. I know they have 2 of them they were looking at. Central Michigan 23-10 as a road underdog over the last 10 years. That's pretty impressive, no doubt. And Coach McElwain 22-18 as an underdog. So, boy, pretty attractive here. Like I said, touts maybe on Central Michigan. I'm hot on this under. I think it was going to be a premium. I'm just not sure on the side. I'm going with the under. You guys are getting this feels like my top play of the card as far as this show is concerned. Central Michigan, Michigan State under. Probably going to be a premium. I'm more concerned. For me, I don't know. If this game opened 15, I like Central Michigan. It's 13.5 now. I might like Michigan State. It might be a 2-touchdown game with a total at 45. This one's going to end right there. It's not. I mean, that's not going to end right. It's going to be like 38 points. It feels like in this game. Yeah. So let's see. Any opinions here on this one? Central Michigan and Michigan State. Michael Roberts here. Thomas takes. Hey, DeReal KGG is here. Nice to have you. Daryl's ready for the next game. Burley's calling for an over, though. He's got Michigan State to roll this one. Remember, this is like if you're Central Michigan, this is a big deal. If you're Michigan State, you never want. It's always uncomfortable a little bit. It's been uncomfortable. I say they haven't met in 5 years, but these 2 teams used to play. So Big Ten usually dominates against the MAC, 27-12 against the spread since over the last 5 years. So pretty strong percentage there, over 70% for the Big Ten against the spread against the MAC. Yeah, right. UCF. They had that one drive. I won't say that one drive that could have helped them. They were live. Kent State still kind of remained live. But, man, the way Malzahn was sending guys all around, and those black uniforms with the stupid names that are in black. Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe they're doing like, hey, we're all team. That we're going to put the last names on. And we're going to put them in the same color. You could read them, but it was like, that's dumb. That's dumb. They're like I want my family to see my name on the back of my jersey. I want my family to see my family's name on the back of the jersey. Do not put dark colors on dark colors ever. Oh, but we can sneak our guys into the. You want your quarterback to see your guys. Okay, all right, you guys. I'm on the under here for sure. I'm on the under. One more. Hey, the get out of all get outs. We're back. We're in Hawaii. I know we've been back for a couple, but and just Hawaii football. It's special at night, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, 5 p.m. Hawaii, and here I think it's 3 hours, right? I don't know. Stanford -3. Look, it was much higher than this when it opened, but Stanford. Look, I just wonder how some of these teams. I'm glad Stanford's going to the ACC now. It's amazing, right? What the Pac-12 has become, and they want to complain. Wow. How do you blow this up like this? What a disaster this has become. And what are you going to call the Atlantic Coast Conference with Stanford and Cal in there? Anyways, look, Timmy Chang is magic, okay? I'm not saying that Hawaii's going to turn around or even be like the Hawaii of old, or I don't know. I mean, if you ever saw like Hawaii games back in the day, they were fun times. I don't think this is going to be as much fun as some of those games. Remember Timmy Chang, man, would be in games, it'd be like 54-45 against BYU. Incredible moments from the islands over the years with Jim Leahy calling the play-by-play. Anyway, Stanford here just down to a 3-point favorite. There were some early lines as high as 10.5 in the summer a little bit. And maybe Stanford, maybe they can get the money here now with it going so low. I don't know. What do you guys think at -3 here? Cardinal, though, 3-3 over their last 2 years. New coach, Shaw leaves. Uh, it probably was for the best, whatever. I mean, he knew what was going on. He's not as bad. Everybody agrees he's still a good coach. Hawaii, 9-18. Last 2+ years, but 15-11-1 against the spread. They are money, no doubt about it. They probably turn the ball over too much. Chang knows he's got a quarterback. He probably he believes in. We saw Hawaii already, certainly in that game against Vanderbilt. They easily covered the spread. I won't say easily, but they were getting 16. They lost by a touchdown. They outgained Vanderbilt 400-300 pretty much. It was those 2 turnovers, the one that cost them big time. So, Pac-12, that's it for the Pac-12. You're done. But hey, Pac-12 6-3 against the spread against the Mountain West last year. So, a very inexperienced offensive line for Stanford. Man, it does feel like they really should get that. If you're Stanford, you're going to the ACC, you better win this game. You better win this game. Let's see what the chat has to say. I want to go with Stanford, even though I love Timmy Chang. I love Hawaii. I have a feeling like with Timmy Chang, you can't go wrong eventually. Like he will figure it out. Maybe he already has to a certain extent. Remember, success at Hawaii, you have to, you like to go to a bowl, even if it's your own bowl. Thank you, Mike, for your plays today. Leroy on Hawaii. They could use it, man. If they could imagine that they could use a new stadium. So they've got one of those dumpy stadiums that it's tough, man. And that political environment is not going to be able to give them a stadium. They need a stadium. And, everybody says, why wouldn't Hawaii? It's tough. You'd think, right, you'd get the best players, but it's just not the way it works. All right. Okay, I'm on Stanford. I don't know. I'm on Stanford on the show here. And, I don't know. But I have Stanford. I haven't seen this game too wide, Mike. Maybe you can give us some books that have, are you saying there's a middle available right now? What has somebody got Stanford 4 or 5 or something? I mean, I'm looking at across the board here at 3s. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. I'm going to preview a few more football games from Saturday. I know you're shuffling out of here, though, a little bit, some of you. All right. That's it in this one. I'll take Stanford. I'm going against my instinct. I'm trusting my numbers here. This one's just gone down a little bit too far on Stanford. Like I said, right now the future is bright, I guess, in the ACC. I mean, it's those are the conferences you want to be in. The Pac-12. They said they never got any respect. Maybe that was the underlying thing after all. All right.